Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Prize Picks video. This one we're talking about the NFL first games of Sunday of the season. In the video, we have 4 picks for you guys to consider, so stay tuned to hear all 4 of the picks we have in this one. And if you guys want more picks, I post more in the private Discord. Plus, we have a bunch of other cappers posting in all sports here. You can see great start to the NFL season. Massive hit here in the Discord for the NFL on Friday night. We've had some crazy runs in the private Discord as well. 6 for 6 of the MLB yesterday. Went 9 and 2 with the picks on Saturday, and then an 8 and 1 day before that, and a 12 and 2 day across the VIP private picks. So definitely check it out. It's less than $1 per day, or less than winning just a $5 3-pick slip on Prizepicks. So if we can help you do that, definitely get in here. You're going to get access to a ton of picks for me, plus a bunch of other cappers in there. Lock in for the NFL season. We're also partnered with Prop Projections. You can follow them on Patreon for free. Just use the link down below. They're sending out their projection spreadsheet for the NFL games, an updated one. They have over 400 props up here. You can see the line, their projection, and the highest win percentage all filtered and sorted over here. So definitely check it out for free. Just follow them on their Patreon. So we'll see you guys over in the Discord. You guys saw some of the big wins and streaks we've been on in the private Discord. So we'll see you over in the Discord. And be sure to get that free projection spreadsheet for the NFL. Now let's get into this one on Prizepicks. Free square here. Caleb Williams, you have to be taking this one if you haven't already. My first pick I'm going to go to here is going to be Rico Dowdell. He's expected to be the lead back in Dallas. So we're going to him over his rushing attempts at 7.5. I think a really low line for him. 7.5 rushing attempts. He could see double digits easily, even against Cleveland in a tough matchup. He's supposed to be like the workhorse here. They do have Ezekiel Elliott as well. But I do think Dowdell should be seeing tons of carries in this game. I think 7.5 is pretty low. So I do like going to him in this spot against Cleveland, opening up the season. From every article and thing that I've seen from reporters and on Twitter, it's saying that they have Rico Dowdell as getting the biggest load on this team. I think should easily see double digits in carries, even in a close game versus a tough run defense. I think this is a really low line for him, and he should be the workhorse running back on this team and in this game. So I'm liking him at this line. I think a good one to go to. To kick things off here, how many starting running backs here that are expected to get the bulk of the carries have the rush attempts here at 7.5? Not too many. I think we're going to get a really good line here on Dowdell. So that's going to be the first one. The second one, I'm going the opposite way. Charbonnet, I'm going to take him on the under of his rush attempts at 6.5 against Denver. Denver actually has kind of an underrated rush defense, I would say. Definitely struggled at times last year. Picked it up towards the end of the year. But Charbonnet, with Kenneth Walker in there, just shouldn't be getting this many rush attempts. We didn't see it that much last year. I don't think it's going to happen in this one. And I think this is going to be a closer game than people think in this contest. And we're going to take a look at this one on Outlier. If you guys have not signed up for Outlier, they do have a free trial for 7 days. Definitely a great tool. I use every single day for all sports, MLB, NFL, WNBA even. It's really great for, and college football. So if you play player props a ton, definitely check them out on their trial here for 7 days. It'll be linked down below. You can get in on that trial. So what we're seeing here under last year for Charbonnet, 69% of games, 11 of 16 games, he went under on his rushing attempts here at 6.5. I definitely think we're getting too high of a line here. I really like the under for Charbonnet. Only if it's a massive blowout in this one, we could see more carries. They're only a 6.5-point favorite. I think Denver will keep this one close, and I think it's going to be a lower scoring game as well. This one opened up at 5.5. You can see line movement over on Outlier as well. Now up to 6.5. I like jumping on the under for this. Something cool you could do on Outlier as well, as we saw this chart down here. 11 of 16 games he went under this. You can look at games with Kenneth Walker playing, and then it's an even higher percentage. So there were 2 games last year where Kenneth Walker didn't play. So this brings the under up to a 79% hit rate. 11 of 14 games. We can look at those games without Kenneth Walker. He got a ton of carries, but obviously Kenneth Walker should be playing in this game. As we look down here, he got 14 and 19 carries in those 2 games with Walker out. But with Walker, like I said, 79% hit rate. Definitely a cool thing you could do on Outlier really easily. So I'm going to go to him for the second pick. One other tool I use here is OddsJam. They basically show you the best value on sites like Prizepicks or Underdog compared to other sites. One of their top picks was Charbonnet here. It's minus 140 on Caesars to go under, minus 135 DraftKings, minus 150 and minus 154 on Hot Streak and Fliff. So a lot of these sites are liking this one to go under. I don't like going against the sportsbooks as well, so all my picks are going to be with the sportsbooks here. So taking him on the under for this one. For the next one, a player I really like here, Michael Pittman. I'm going to be taking him on the over of 5.5. I think this game could be an absolute shootout. Houston versus Indianapolis. I think both teams can put up some big points in this one, and it's supposed to be a high-scoring game. So I do think Pittman, the number one target receiver, he gets a lot of catches and targets in this offense. I expect it to continue this year. So the one I'm liking here is just 5.5 receptions for him, taking the over. I think it's a smash spot here potentially for Michael Pittman in this contest. So liking him on the over here against Houston. This is another one from OddsJam that we could see here. Again, I don't like going against sportsbooks. I like going with them. So when we can get good lines here, like minus 140 on FanDuel, minus 130 on Caesars and DraftKings, minus 148 on Hot Streak, minus 144 on Parlay Play. They really liking this one over. I am as well. Let's dig into it a little more on Outlier over here. What you can see from Outlier is the hit rate basically on this from last year. So in 63% of games last year, he was hitting this one. 10 of 16 games, he hit it. And obviously Anthony Richardson got hurt in the 5th game, but was playing a lot better with Anthony Richardson, I think. So if we look at games just with Anthony Richardson as his quarterback last year, this was just a 50% hit rate, but the first 2 games he got 8 catches in each, then had a stinker game here with 1 and then 5 in the game that Richardson got hurt, and obviously Richardson played like less than half the game in this one, but these first 2 games, I think they really had a strong connection, so I think they can keep it going in this season, and he's going to look for him a ton. We could see the targets he was seeing in those games, 11 and 12 targets in those ones, so I do think he should be increased by having Anthony Richardson back here and back to be hitting this one. So I am liking him in this game. Houston allows a decent amount of receptions, 20th in the league. You can see here 22.5 per game. So they do give up a good amount of catches, and with their high-powered offense, they hopefully will be scoring a lot in this one. So Indianapolis keep getting the ball back and have to score and make drives with Pittman as the leading receiver here. So I am liking going to him. And then we got Bryce Young here. I'm taking the under against New Orleans. I think a tougher matchup than people think. New Orleans, actually a decent pass defense last year. I think they're still going to be a strong defense. Bryce Young was barely touching 200 yards last year, and I don't think he's going to have a massive breakout, at least in week 1 here. So I like sticking to the under on Bryce Young's here at 201.5. I've seen this one below 200 yards on other sports books, so I think getting it at 201.5 is going to be a pretty good deal for him here. I like taking the under on this one for Bryce Young. We could look what he did last year. It definitely was not a great rookie season for him. Obviously now has more weapons with Leggett and Deontay Johnson, but we'll see how he does against this tough defense. 69% of games, 11 of 16, he went under on this last season. And if we look at his last 10 games of last season, 9 of his last 10, he went under this. So was not pretty to start. You can see this one was under 200 earlier today on the line movement here at 199.5. New Orleans here last season gave up just 207 passing yards on average. That was 10th best passing defense in the league. So I think an underrated pass defense he's playing here as well. We can see what he did against them last year, head-to-head. He went for 153 and 137. So really struggled against them last year in his 2 matchups against the Saints. So not liking Bryce Young to have a breakout, at least in this first week here. I just think this line too high based on what he did last year and the matchup and his history against the Saints. And if you guys want more picks, you guys seen the runs we've been going on in the private Discord. 12-2, 8-1, 9-2 on Saturday, 6-6 with the MLB. Some big wins already in here in the NFL. Friday, a massive takedown 20 to win 520 in the Discord. So get over here. I post my other favorite picks in all sports, including more from the NFL. Plus, we got a bunch of other cappers posting their favorite picks in there. It's going to be less than $1 per day. Also, sign up for prop projections here. Get their projection spreadsheet for free for the NFL on Sunday. Just follow them on Patreon for free. They'll be posting it. They had over 400 projections up for their early Sunday model, but they're coming out with another one. So definitely follow them there as well. We'll see you guys in the Discord. Subscribe to the channel.